When Fawlty Towers exploded onto British television in 1975, it looked like pure farce, a hurricane of rudeness, disaster, and barely contained madness. But behind the chaos of Basil's rants and Sybil's shrieks were strange truths, unlikely coincidences, and hidden stories even devoted fans never knew. Fact 1.
Well, may I ask what you were expecting to see out of a Torquay hotel bedroom window?
The entire series began when John Cleese stayed at a real Torquay hotel whose manager was shockingly rude. The man insulted guests, threw out a doctor he thought looked suspicious, and once complained that Cleese's table manners resembled those of a barbarian. Cleese was so fascinated by the behaviour that he took notes throughout the stay. He later told friends the manager was the rudest man I've ever met in my life.
Fawlty? What's wrong with it?
I'm the manager!
Cast members couldn't believe anyone like Basil Fawlty actually existed until Cleese retold incident after incident. This manager rearranged guest luggage based on his personal judgment of who looked respectable. He even criticised people for how loudly they breathed. Cleese felt the hotel had a sinister atmosphere mixed with total incompetence. Connie Booth immediately saw the comedic potential in such a monstrous host. The real manager's unpredictability formed the foundation for Basil's frantic personality. Cleese later admitted he toned down many stories because the truth felt too unbelievable. Fans often assume Basil is exaggerated, but much of his behaviour was drawn directly from life. The hotel experience became one of British comedy's strangest gifts. Without that disastrous stay, Fawlty Towers might never have existed.
Please try to understand before one of us dies.
Fact 2.
Come on.
I'm not too tired.
Is somebody coming?
Mr. Fawlty, I don't want to work here anymore.
Many viewers still think Fawlty Towers ran for years, but the entire show consists of just 12 episodes. John Cleese deliberately refused to make more because he believed stretching the series would weaken its quality. He argued that the comedic pressure of running a hotel couldn't sustain endless storylines. Connie Booth agreed, preferring tight scripts over repetitive situations. BBC executives begged for additional series because the show was a massive success. Cleese resisted, saying he couldn't bear watching the show go downhill. The decision shocked the industry because most successful sitcoms continued far longer. Cleese insisted that every episode needed to be densely packed with jokes and character-driven chaos. Writers spent months perfecting each script, rewriting scenes over and over. The meticulous approach made filming slow and demanding, but the results were timeless. Actors later said the finished episodes felt like finely tuned plays rather than casual sitcoms. Fans often forget that the show's legacy rests on an incredibly small number of installments. The brevity helped maintain its iconic status. Cleese proved that quality can outweigh quantity. The 12-episode run remains one of British TV's boldest creative choices.
There's a hair in my mousse.
Well, don't talk too loud. Everybody will want one.
What?
Fact 3.
No.
Andrew Sachs played Manuel with such chaotic energy that many viewers assumed his pratfalls were stunt work. In reality, Sachs performed most of the physical comedy himself and sustained real injuries during filming. During the fire drill scene, his arm was accidentally burned by a malfunctioning prop. Another time, a real metal tray struck him on the back of the head when a stunt went wrong.
No fire is only drill!
It's fire!
Sachs insisted on continuing because he believed Manuel's innocence depended on genuine physical clumsiness. John Cleese felt terrible when accidents occurred and repeatedly checked on him between takes. Despite the mishaps, Sachs remained dedicated and calm. He said he trusted the team completely, even when scenes became dangerously frantic. Producers tried to introduce softer props, but Sachs preferred realism to foam substitutes. His commitment impressed the entire cast, who called him the quiet hero of the show. Sachs later revealed he kept many injuries secret during production to avoid delaying schedules.
Door was here!
Where,
Fans never realized how much pain went into Manuel's funniest moments. His physical dedication contributed enormously to the show's frantic energy. Manuel's misadventures became a legendary part of British comedy at a physical cost viewers rarely understood.
Manuel Towers, how are you? It's nice today. Good. Goodbye.
Fact 4.
Just turn left out of the gate and straight on, and it's on your right.
Cleese and Booth wrote the series using an unusually rigid structural system. They timed scenes down to the second and mapped character movements like a fast blueprint. Cleese once compared their writing process to solving an equation. The pair spent weeks building setups and payoffs to create maximum chaos. Every misunderstanding, lie, and slapstick moment had to interlock perfectly. Actors describe rehearsals as both exhilarating and exhausting. Sometimes a single scene required dozens of rewrites to achieve the desired timing. Cleese paced obsessively during script read-throughs, counting beats like a conductor.
I'm just a girl who can't say no. I'm in a terrible fix.
Booth approached emotional moments with equal precision, arguing that farce needed heart to stay grounded. Directors followed the scripts almost like stage plays, allowing little improvisation. The mathematical structure made even small mistakes noticeable during filming. Cast members often said they felt like they were performing choreographed dance routines. The script's complexity contributed to the show's lasting rewatch value. Each episode reveals hidden details and interconnected jokes upon repeated viewing. This meticulousness became the signature of Fawlty Towers' genius. The show feels chaotic, but underneath it's engineered with extraordinary precision.
I'll call O'Reilly!
Fact 5.
You didn't let me put something on, really. Realise how much we would have won? £75 for a £5 steak? Still, you know best.
John Cleese threw himself into Basil Fawlty's explosive rants with such intensity that newcomers to the set often believed he was genuinely furious. Guest actors sometimes mistook him for being rude or unapproachable. Directors learned to warn first-time performers not to take Basil's outbursts personally. Cleese preferred staying in an agitated state between takes to maintain momentum. Cast members joked that filming days felt like living inside a storm. Even experienced performers were occasionally startled by sudden shouting. Andrew Sachs said that Cleese's energy made slapstick scenes feel frighteningly real. Prunella Scales admired Cleese's commitment, but noted that Basil's rage could be physically overwhelming. Crew members often waited for a signal from Cleese before approaching him during intense sequences. Despite his on-screen fury, Cleese remained polite and calm once scenes wrapped. Many guest actors later expressed relief after realizing the anger was entirely performance. His ability to transform so completely heightened the show's comedic power. Basil's rage became a defining element of the series. Without Cleese's terrifying precision, the hotel's madness wouldn't have felt nearly as explosive.
What are you making another one of salad for?
Fact 6.
Does that stir any memories in you, Basil?
Memories? Agincourt?
Prunella Scales modelleered a Sybil Fawlty, not just from the script, but from real women she observed working behind hotel desks across Britain. She visited several seaside hotels and took mental notes on how some managers use sweetness as a weapon. Scales noticed how certain women maintained order using polite but unbreakable authority.
What? Anniversary of the Battle of Agincourt?
She blended this behaviour with Sybil's razor-sharp sarcasm. Sybil's laugh was invented after Scales overheard a woman laughing uncontrollably at a restaurant. Scales exaggerated it until it became Sybil's trademark weapon of dominance. Writers gave her increasingly biting dialogue because Scales delivered it with such effortless charm. John Cleese said Sybil could destroy Basil with a single raised eyebrow. Scales played Sybil with warmth wrapped inside intimidation. She wanted the character to feel like someone Basil genuinely feared, but also depended on. The dynamic became the emotional backbone of the marriage. Fans adored Sybil because she always seemed 5 steps ahead of Basil's schemes. Scales later admitted she enjoyed playing a woman with absolute control. Her performance helped shape the entire show's power structure. Sybil became iconic because she was grounded in real human behaviour.
Who needs Harold Robbins when you got the real thing?
Fact 7.
Are these Germans too?
Oh, yes, but I can do this.
Right.
The Germans is one of the most famous episodes, but the BBC initially feared it would offend international audiences. Executives hesitated because they worried Basil's infamous "don't mention the war" routine would be misunderstood.
Don't mention the war. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it all right.
Cleese argued the joke was not about Germans, but about British awkwardness. He insisted Basil was mocking his own inability to handle social tension. After long discussions, the BBC allowed the episode to air but monitored early reviews closely. Many Germans who watched the episode later said they found it hilarious. The comedic target was clearly Basil, not the guests.
I'll stand there and ask them if they want something to drink before the war. Before their lunch.
The episode became an instant classic because of its escalating absurdity. Cleese's physical comedy during the fire drill scenes pushed the boundaries of sitcom chaos. The lines became some of the most quoted in British comedy history. Teachers later used the episode to explain British humour to foreign students. Despite initial concerns, the episode became one of the most successful of the series. It proved that bold comedy could still be clever and sensitive. The risk ultimately paid off in spectacular fashion.
Oh, you speak English?
Of course.
Ah, wonderful, wunderbar.
Fact 8.
And he smashed the eggs in his cups under the table.
Connie Booth played Polly with such intelligence and subtlety that fans were shocked when she stepped away from acting soon after the series ended. Booth felt she had achieved what she wanted in the entertainment world. She increasingly preferred writing and later trained as a psychotherapist. Booth never spoke publicly about her split from Cleese beyond respectful statements. She remained proud of Fawlty Towers but disliked the idea of being defined solely by it. Friends said she preferred a private, grounded life outside the spotlight.
What are you doing, Polly? Just preparing some sausages. Bangers a la bang.
Directors often praised her ability to elevate scenes through quiet expressions. Polly became the emotional anchor of the show because Booth played her with such realism. Fans continued to ask her for autographs for years after she retired. Booth repeatedly said she was grateful for the role but did not miss acting. Her decision shocked the industry but made sense to those who knew her. She found fulfillment helping people rather than performing for them. Her departure from acting became one of the show's quietest but most surprising footnotes. Polly remains one of British comedy's most beloved characters thanks to Booth's understated brilliance.
Didn't God give you eyes?
Yes, but I don't use them because it wears the batteries out.
Fact 9.
You told me to shut up!
No, he told me to shut up.
Despite the show's tightly controlled structure, the cast frequently broke character during rehearsals because the scripts were so densely packed with jokes. Cleese's physical comedy often triggered uncontrollable laughter from the crew. Andrew Sachs said he ruined several takes by laughing at Cleese's improvised facial expressions. Even Prunella Scales occasionally collapsed into giggles during intense arguments.
About 6 months. He used to work at Dorchester.
At the Dorchester?
No, in Dorchester, about 40 miles away.
Directors grew used to resetting scenes multiple times just to restore composure. The cast said filming felt like working on a chaotic stage play. Rehearsals sometimes descended into hysterics when props malfunctioned at the wrong moment. The writing was so sharp that even minor lines caused repeated corpsing. Cleese often tried to stay stern but secretly enjoyed the chaos. Guest actors were often shocked by how much the regular cast laughed at each other. These moments created a tight bond among the actors. The laughter helped maintain energy during long days of filming. Fans watching outtakes later realized how contagious the comedy was. The show's precision may have looked effortless, but behind the scenes it was fueled by constant joy.
He said it to me! Oh no, I was looking at you, but I was talking to Polly, wasn't I, Polly?
Oh, yes.
Fact 10.
So next week's a definite then, is it? Oh, good. Well, that'll be nice, won't it? I mean, we waited for that ball about as long as Hadrian.
To make the hotel feel authentic, the crew borrowed real items from functioning establishments. Reception bells, luggage trolleys, and key racks were sourced from local hotels in London. They even loaned old guest ledgers to give the front desk a lived-in appearance. Many props had genuine wear and tear from years of use. The authenticity helped actors feel immersed in Basil's chaotic world. Some items had history mysteries far older than the show itself. Prunella Scales said she loved touching objects that had served real customers.
Thank you very much. Yes.
The production team took great care returning everything undamaged. One hotel manager joked that their key rack became more famous after appearing in the series. These real props made the set feel strangely alive. Cast members said they could almost smell the faded carpets of the real hotels the items came from. Authenticity helped ground the show's wild storylines. It made Fawlty Towers feel like a real, functioning disaster of a hotel. These small details contributed enormously to the show's timeless realism.
Yes? Single for tonight, is it?
Mr. Fawlty, may I introduce Richard Turner? He's a friend of mine.
Oh, you know each other, do you?
Fact 11.
Put that under him. The cushions.
One of the most memorable storylines involving a difficult guest with a pampered dog came directly from a real hotel complaint that Cleese once read. The letter described a woman furious that a hotel staff member refused to give her dog extra portions of food. Cleese was fascinated by how seriously the woman treated her pet, as if it were an aristocratic human. He turned this exaggerated entitlement into a comedic archetype. Writers studied old hotel complaint logs for more inspiration. They discovered an entire world of bizarre requests and outrageous expectations. The dog storyline grew naturally from these real examples. Cast members loved performing scenes with the trained animal, though it frequently ignored commands. The production team had to reshoot moments because the dog wandered off at unpredictable times. Cleese joked that the dog had better comic timing than he did. This storyline allowed the show to mock British class pretensions with precision. Audiences immediately recognized the archetype. The blend of truth and exaggeration made the episode unforgettable. It proved once again that the strangest comedy often comes straight from real life.
Not my eggs, the sausages.
Oh, sorry.
He might pull it too, you see.
Fact 12.
What's that on your hand, Basil?
What? Oh, that's some stuff in the cupboard, dear. Something I knocked over.
Although Fawlty Towers looked simple at first glance, the editing was cutting edge for a 1970s sitcom. Editors used fast cuts and precise timing to highlight Basil's frantic movements. Scenes were trimmed to milliseconds to maintain comedic energy. Cleese worked closely with editors to shape the rhythm of jokes. He believed comedy depended as much on silence as on punchlines. Editors often removed tiny pauses to heighten tension. The pacing felt more like cinematic farce than traditional television. Fans later remarked that the show felt strangely modern, even decades later.
Well, I'd better apologise for my husband's behaviour.
No, please, really, Mrs. Fawlty.
Each episode required more editing time than most sitcoms of the era. Directors praised the editors for turning chaos into clarity. Their work made the show's slapstick feel crisp rather than messy. The editing contributed enormously to the show's longevity. It helped Fawlty Towers feel timeless, fast, and endlessly rewatchable. The production team set new standards for television comedy. Without such careful craftsmanship, the hotel's madness would never have flowed as perfectly.
I can't say no.
Fact 13.
He's dead.
Dead? Who?
Number 8.
Lehman? But Basil just took him his breakfast.
One of the most famous plots involving Basil trying desperately to hide a dead guest came from a real story Cleese heard from a hotel manager. The manager explained that a guest had passed away quietly overnight, leaving staff unsure how to inform other guests. Cleese immediately recognized the potential for dark farce. He and Booth reimagined the situation as a spiraling disaster for Basil. The writers balanced humor with genuine human discomfort. Cast members initially felt nervous performing scenes involving a corpse. The director reassured them that the humor targeted Basil's incompetence, not the deceased.
So final, isn't it? Basil! Well, wouldn't you say it was final, dear? I'd say it was pretty bloody final.
Sachs found the storyline particularly intense because of physical comedy involving moving the body. Cleese said the episode captured the nightmare logic of hotel management. The storyline highlighted how fear of embarrassment can lead to catastrophic decisions. Audiences responded with enormous enthusiasm. The episode became one of the most quoted in discussions of dark British humour. It showed the show's willingness to explore riskier territory. This combination of discomfort and farce became a hallmark of the series.
You mean to tell me you didn't realise this man was dead? Well, people don't talk that much anymore. Look, I'm just delivering a tray, right? If the guest isn't singing.
Fact 14. Basil's stiff, exaggerated walk during certain episodes came from Cleese's observation of a British military officer he once met at a formal event. The officer marched everywhere with exaggerated dignity, seemingly unaware of how humorous it looked. Cleese studied the movement closely. He recreated it when Basil tried to impress people or hide panic. Directors encouraged Cleese to lean even further into the ridiculousness. The result became one of the show's most iconic physical gags. Cast members struggled not to laugh when Cleese performed the walk during rehearsals. Even Prunella Scales admitted she had to look away to stay in character. Fans mistakenly believed the walk was improvised, but it was carefully rehearsed. Cleese refined it repeatedly to keep it sharp. The military inspiration added an extra layer to Basil's pretentiousness. It was a physical symbol of his desperate need for authority. The walk remains one of British comedy's most recognisable visual jokes.
Funny for her, not for us, not for any German people.
You have absolutely no sense of humour, do you?
Fact 15.
The Major tried to kill Basil.
Kill Basil?
No, not Mr. Fawlty. I mean Basil, my little...
Ratatouille.
Although Fawlty Towers was popular during its original run, its true cultural explosion happened years after it ended. Repeats introduced it to entirely new generations of viewers. Critics began citing it as the pinnacle of British farce. Cast members were surprised by how much its reputation grew over time. Fans started studying episodes like literature, analysing subtext and structure. Comedy writers frequently referenced it as a masterclass in timing.
You wait too, please.
International broadcasters embraced it, expanding its reach far beyond the UK. The show became required viewing in television writing courses. Its scripts were praised for blending character, chaos, and social satire. Actors continued to receive fan mail decades later. Tourism in Torquay increased because visitors wanted to see the town that inspired the series. Merchandise sales remained strong despite the show's age. Its legacy transformed from a hit sitcom into a cultural touchstone. Fawlty Towers stands as a rare example of comedy that grows more legendary with each passing year.